Welcome to Little Luxury. Now today's episode is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to share a personal story. When I was younger, my parents have always lived in rural and suburban areas, and as an introvert, I really did not mind at all. But I do remember this vividly. Every time when my mom and I went into the city, she would get all ecstatic about it, and on our way back home, she would all of a sudden get really emotional, zooming past rows of skyscrapers and as all the city lights disappear behind us, worrying that maybe she's not relevant anymore or that maybe she doesn't have the vibrant energy that she used to have in her 30s working in the city. But 20 minutes later, as we went into the suburban area, her mood would suddenly light up again, saying things like, "Oh, thank God that we moved out here," and "Oh, I still like this better." It's only when I finished graduate school and started working with hundreds of personalities in the context of doing business that I really started to relate to my parents when they said that they just wanted to live in quietness and that they prefer not to deal with people on a daily basis. But I mean, really though, are there any places where we can truly unplug and unwind nowadays? When I go into a coffee shop, there's people walking around all the time, and I'm constantly worried if the barista thinks that I'm cute. When I go for a drive, it's so hot in the cabin, I gotta crank the AC all the way up. Traffic stresses me out, and there's so many bad drivers on the road. So that's when I discovered the true unplugging experience, sensory deprivation. Newport Flow Therapy. This is in the corner of a strip mall in Newport Beach, California, super inconspicuous, as you can see in the footage. Thank you. Alright, so now we're inside of the private room right next to the floating tank. So now this is the shower area where you can rinse off all the product on your body prior to going into the tank. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, you have to have these earplugs when you go into the salt water so the salt water doesn't go into your eardrums. Alright, so that was an hour of amazing float, and now I'm just gonna shower, change, and go home to debrief. Alright, so now I'm back and all chilled out, and this is what I call the true unplugging experience. It was just me, my thoughts, and my body locked away in a dark tank. You know how in meditation, the teaching is to zoom out of your body and to look at your thoughts from an objective point of view? In the tank, because it was so dark, I couldn't even tell if I had my eyes open or not. 10 minutes in, I had a lot of thoughts, but then immediately I was able to realize, like, wait, it's so dark in here, there's nothing to see. Why am I seeing all these images? Why am I hearing all these sounds? And it's that moment that I always realize that, wait, these are all my thoughts. You know, these are all just inside of here. And then when I realized that, I was able to come back to my breathing, focus on the present. If you have a little bit of attention, then you would probably sink that way. So it kind of forces you to relax every part of your body so you can float perfectly. The flow therapy for me, it's almost as if I'm restarting a computer. And I feel like my hair is even fuller now because of it just being soaked in salt for like a whole hour. And my skin looks more radiant. It's just magical. Like I was just the most chilled out I've ever been.